Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy, and I'm hoping to do a bloom on this 10-inch round canvas. This is a Frederick's canvas. I got it at Blick. I have a link for Blick below. And I know for sure I want to use certain colors. You might hear my dog. She's making some weird noises. And sorry if you can hear our dryer. So let me get my spinner and I'm going to show you the colors as I lay them down. I'm still on the fence about a couple of things and the order of some things. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow a little bit. So I wanted to use this Rustic Earth color from Primary Elements. So that's part of what I'm working with here. And let me zoom you out just a little bit. Okay. So, and I want to use, so I'm going to show you which colors I'm going to for sure use. I'm going to use Golden Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold. I'm going to use Matisse Midnight Blue. I'm going to use Tuscan Sun, which is a Colourarte PrizmPour color. I'm going to use Mahogany from Colourarte. Mahogany and Rustic Earth from Colourarte are both from the most recent Primary Elements set. I'm going to use a white cell activator. I'm probably going to use Boronia Burgundy Boom Gel right underneath my cell activator. And I thought about using this Pinnacle Sand Boom Gel because how often do I use this warm of a yellow? But I may not. So it's in here, but it may not make the cut. So I'm going to put down my Glidden Premium White Eggshell Pillow. And I have a mixing video below where I show you what ingredients I use for the blooms. I always use too much pillow paint, so trying to work on that. But it shows you which ingredients I use and why, kind of how I make cell activator, all that fun stuff. So I get a lot of questions about that. I always put it in the description box below. And I'm gonna drop this a couple times and pop some bubbles in the pillow. See if I can at least get them to the surface. Okay, that seems like enough pillow paint. I'm trying to learn to not overdo it. So, and before I forget, there are discount codes available in the description box below for Colourarte. 20% off using Mandy1120 in all lowercase. Having a serious lighting problem right now. And when I do this, you can see the ring, so I'm not too wild about that. Stop. Anyway, you can see those in the description box below. And for Boom Gel, I use Pixel Paint Designs, and I have a promo code for you below, which is Mandy15. All right, so sorry about all my technical difficulties today. Let's get started. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the bottom, Rustic Earth, just a little bit underneath the Nickel Azo Gold. And I just saw a little piece of fuzz here. I was just checking on my dog, so it's probably dog hair. And we're gonna do some Nickel Azo Gold on top of that. I might regret that because I really like the way the Nickel Azo Gold looks stretched across the pillow. So putting something underneath it may have reduced that a little bit, but I did it, so it's done. Kind of want to do, okay. So sorry again about the dryer noises you might hear. This is the Midnight Blue from Matisse. And super pretty color. It's kind of like, the best way I could describe it, it's almost like a Prussian blue in shade. Like it has a little bit of greenish tint to it. And I'm gonna throw in some Tuscan Sun here. I've actually never used this color, so I'm excited to try it out. And since I have a lot of darker colors, I'm probably gonna put this one in another layer in a minute. So really beautiful color. Nice warm yellow, goldish yellow. So that's really nice. Now I'm gonna do Mahogany. This color is breathtaking. And I'm going to blow these out with my Babyliss hair dryer. I'm still trying to get used to it. Really like it, but it definitely has a little bit of a learning curve. So, and then I'm going to do I think I'm gonna do, I'm torn, sorry, I'm thinking over here. I think I'm gonna do a little more of this. This color is one of the ugliest colors when you first see it, but it looks beautiful in everything you put it in. It's the weirdest thing. And I think I'm gonna do a little bit more Midnight Blue. Just a little bit. A little bit more of this Tuscan Sun. Oh wait. I just realized something. Yeah, I just realized something. I was doing this mostly to separate these two colors. Whoa. But then I realized I'm gonna put the Boronia Burgundy at the top, right underneath the cell activator, and that's going to be dark, so I don't know if what I'm doing here is actually beneficial. Oh well, I'm doing it anyway. So Tuscan Sun, Rustic Earth, I probably should have just used some regular white. Move some stuff out of the way. A little bit more of this right here. I know I'm using too much color. What else is new? Midnight Blue I already put in there twice. And then I think I will do a little bit more of this and then the Boronia Burgundy. I have so many bubbles. I would not recommend torturing your bubbles, but I'm gonna do it. So do as I say, not as I do. Bad teaching. There's just so many of them. So whatever I didn't get this way, I can't keep torching at this point. I'm going to create a skin. I'm gonna pop them with this thing, or I'll just whack it like this. I get some of them. All right. So annoying. See, just that little bit of torching, I already have some paint that wants to skin up and dry. So that's why you don't do it. I'm not saying that it's good to do, but sometimes I'm just impatient and I don't want to spend all day doing this. So taking a chance, but I'm cautioning you to maybe not take the same chance. I know lots of people who do it and don't have problems, but you can't have problems for sure. So the reason I'm putting the Boom Gel underneath the cell activator is Boom Gel for some reason works so well to help create cells with your cell activator. And I really like the type of cells they create. So that's one of the reasons I like to put them at the top. There's still a lot that goes into blowing them out right. You know, Boom Gels are not a magical formula for sure, but they definitely make a difference in how it shakes out. Sorry, I keep messing with my tripod and then my phone wants to spin around. Okay. So this is Boronia Burgundy. It's one of my favorite Boom Gels. And since I'm going to use a white cell activator, I kind of needed a dark color right at the top. So So I was gonna use Matisse Red Violet, but I use that all the time. So I was like, you know, let me break it up a little. Okay. So this is M Gram Titanium White. I get this at Blick too, and it's mixed with 3 parts paint, 3 parts Australian Floetrol to 1 part paint. I like M Gram a lot. It's gonna mix up to be the consistency of like maybe an Amsterdam wood, but in my opinion that the cells hold their structure a little bit better, at least for the black one. I can't speak to the white exactly because I've only used it once, but I really, really like it. So I'm gonna get right in the way for a second. Now I'm going to take my hairdryer. I just spread it out a little bit, but I'm going to take the hairdryer on low and cool. This part's messed up. I gotta figure it out a different way. So this part I did a terrible job on. I need to try to figure it out because if I go hit that with the blow dryer now, the result will not be good. So, oops. What I did here is also not good. So I may have really messed that up right there. I don't know the best way to fix it yet, but what I do know is if I were to hit this with the blow dryer, it would warp what we have that's going okay here. So I think we just need to work with what we have. So let me see what you can see. So we have some really nice cells. This is creating a glare. We have some really nice cells in lacing. No, that didn't do anything to help us. We have some really nice cells and lacing. There are some places where my cell activator didn't hold up perfectly, but I think that has to do with the way I blew it out. So I'm going to try to extend what I have a little bit. This is not something I'm great at, so I'm not expecting amazingness yet because we're still working on that. This just goes to show you if you're doing blooms, I've done blooms for over a year, probably a year and a half, and I still am not great at it. So if you're practicing this technique and you're losing patience with yourself, just know that like you're in good company. All of us are right there with you. It's a hard technique, very rewarding, but it's hard. Okay, so it's also hard to not get your hair in whatever you're doing. And as tempted as I am to keep spreading this out, I think we're gonna have a better result from just kind of embellishing what we do have. So we know this right here is gonna be a problem. So let's kind of work with that. Make it look like we did it on purpose. We don't ever do these things on purpose. Here, I didn't do a great job trying to make that connection. So I'm just gonna do that a little bit. And here. I tend to not have great results when I over swirl. So you'll notice that I'm probably hesitating a little bit to avoid over swirling. That was not good. Boo-hoo. Okay, let's see. We definitely have some cool stuff in the middle. I'm afraid that this swirly that I made early on is going to be way too big as we spin this out. But unfortunately it's there now, so the only thing I can maybe do is soften it. Maybe bring some of this red in here. Okay, this looks nice. You know, we still have quite a bit of bubbles. Again, don't do this at home. Just my lack of patience for popping them is fierce. Okay, so we're kind of running out of time. Let me make sure. Kind of make sense of this real quick because there's some lines here that aren't awesome. And over here, just kind of bubbling some things together. That was going to backfire. What I just did is going to backfire. Yeah, big time. Oh well, let's see. That's why we practice. One of the things I struggle with this technique is I hate wasting things, and I hate wasting canvases and supplies. And so if something's not perfect, like, it bothers me that I wasted a canvas on it. You have to get over that, you know? I'll just tell you from experience, you absolutely have to get over that. Oops. Because things are gonna get wasted, you know? So let's give it a little spin. I have the remote over here. It's probably not the greatest place for that. I like the fall colors. It's very pretty. This is not the composition I had in mind. The colors look great together though. We have a nice green that kind of formed from some of the midnight blue mixing with that Tuscan sun. I have a globby in here that I need to get. And I also need to get this bubble, which is a pillow cell. Not a pillow cell, but it's like a measle. Let me clean my gloves off because I can't tell what I'm doing in some places. Like this, what the heck? Is that from torching? What happened there? Those are weird. Can you see that? This is kind of crazy looking, you guys. Okay, this painting may not make it, but we're gonna let it work itself out. I'm tempted to wreck these because it feels like this happened from my torching, which is why you address bubbles a different way usually. So part of me is kind of tempted to come in here and I don't know any way that won't look weird if I mess with it. Let me just keep spinning and think about it. But I'm going to reach a point where I can no longer mess with it if I'm going to mess with it. I think if I wasn't the one that made it, that weird caterpillar thing wouldn't bother me. So I think it's just because we have it over here too. So I think it's because I made it that it's bothering me. But it is bothering me for real. Let's see, we still have to get some paint off. I like this as a cell activator, but I honestly think it might, for a bloom, it might benefit from being a little thicker. But this is what I like about it. Let me see if I can show you. So right here in the middle with Amsterdam, and I'm not knocking Amsterdam because I like Amsterdam paint a lot and I like it as a cell activator. You get this globby. But with Amsterdam paint, if I have too much paint in the center, cell activator wise, oh, that was a big globby. I don't get clean lines. I get fuzzy lines. And it's hard for me to show it to you, but if you do this technique, you probably know what I'm talking about. Where it's like you use too much, and so instead of having like the cells and lacing look clean, they often look fuzzy, like blurry. And the one thing I will say about Graham is I don't see that hardly ever with Graham. And that's one of the things I like about it. So let me pop a couple of these before they become problematic. I don't know, what do you guys think? I know it's not what I had in my head, which is pretty much the way things go, but it's very fall, very warm, pretty autumn. I think if I were to do it again, I would, oh my gosh, there's a piece of fuzz right here in the center. It's like the most terrible place to have to take something out. I hope I got it. If not, it's gonna stay there. I didn't get it. It's probably staying there. Anyway, I don't love this, but it's not as exaggerated as I thought it would be. Plus, it kind of goes with the funky places where there aren't any cells and lacing. So I guess I can kind of dig it, but I love this rustic earth color. I think it is so pretty. I love all of the colors, but I wanted that color to show a lot in this piece, and it does. And so does Mahogany, which I also really love. I think it's cool that we got this warm green tint from the Tuscan Sun kind of intermingling with the midnight blue. So I like that. I wish I had done a better job blowing it out, but again, that only comes with practice. There are some places where the blowout's really beautiful. Here, 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 especially right here. I love this part. So there's a lot of winning things about it, but let me know. I know we're not quite done yet, but let me know, would you keep it or would you paint over it? Also, do these weird huge cells that probably happened because I torched it, do they bother you? Are they like just the strangest looking thing, or does it all kind of go together? To me, it distracts me, but I think that's because I made it. These weird ones over here don't bother me too much, but this distracts me. I also notice these a lot, but I think that happened because I torched it. Because torching things in regular acrylic pouring causes cells to come through. We didn't really want those kinds of cells. We wanted bloom cells and lacing, but here we are. That's what I get for breaking the rules. So yeah, what do you think? The colors, I love the colors. I still see the nickel azo gold in here in some places. It's kind of more complementary, like you can see it right here. It's sort of like a supporting actor to the other colors. So let's spin off a little bit more, kind of see where we land. But yeah, I'm super curious what you guys think. I've been wanting to try this. I expected to have a lot more kind of negative space, not negative space, but kind of the pillow seeping through, but I used too much paint. So this is probably a great lesson for me in using too much paint in my, so maybe if I were to do this again, what I would do differently is leave the nickel azo on the bottom by itself underneath the blue, and maybe do less layers, and I like the way the Boronia Burgundy worked out. I also kind of wonder if a Kookaburra brown or something might have been a better boom gel for the top. I think the burgundy kind of works because it keeps it from being too brown, and it's a nice complement and contrast to the brown without the whole piece being too brown. So I don't know, curious what you guys think. When you're too close to the piece you make yourself, it's always super hard to see it with fresh eyes. Even after it dries, sometimes I'm like, eh. And sometimes I'll go back in and say, why didn't I like this? I like it now, you know? So it just depends. So I would think, from an orientation perspective, I don't know which way I like it. Because if you put it this way, where the top would be facing you guys, these weird brown cells are like super central to the theme. But it doesn't really work much of a different way. So there's some parts, so you can see right here, can you see this? Probably not. Right here is what the Amsterdam paint sometimes does in the center. This is doing it because I messed with it, but that's kind of what happens sometimes in the center. You can probably appreciate why I don't enjoy that when it happens. I probably need to leave this alone. And here I am still messing with it. Because right now almost anything I do is going to go right into the pillow paint. I kind of want to bring that a little closer to the edge though. It may be not going to happen. I don't know. I'm really curious what you guys think. We might need to get a little bit more off, but I think we've probably done enough. So for me, it looks a little busy. I'm wondering if using the blue was a good idea. I feel like maybe I either should use the blue or use the Tuscan Sun, but maybe not do both. Or maybe put the blue at the top instead of putting it next to the yellow. I like the places where the green is, but some places like right here, I feel like are a little bit distracting. In the background and here, it's fine. But I feel like right here is a little distracting. So yeah, I'm curious. What do you guys think? If you were to do it again, would you keep the blue? Would you keep the Tuscan Sun? Would you do one or the other? Obviously, I didn't do the greatest job blowing it out, so I'm aware of my opportunity there. But what do you think of the colors? Is the composition a deal breaker for you? Yeah, give me your insights. I'm going to bring you down for a close-up and let me know what you think. All right, everyone, so here is our close-up. Here's the part I did not do a good job blowing out, so you can see this little hole where I did that little swirly thing. I think I need to stop swirling. It doesn't go well for me. Where I did that little swirly thing where we have almost no activity from the cells in the lacing perspective, but the colors are fantastic. We do have more cells here than it looks like, or more lacing here than it looks like. It's just kind of a thin sheet. I think the center turned out fine. Again, I find this little swirly guy very distracting, but I think it's because I made him. So I like this part. This part's really cool. I like this part. This part distracts me also. So some of this is the way I embellished it, and that's on me. I really think these are strange. They're really big. They seem to be out of place. If I look at them in the grand scheme of things, I guess it kind of works, but that kind of bothers me a little bit. This part looks great. Yeah, the cell activator may need to be thickened up a wee bit. I do like it though. I think next time, you guys have to remind me, next time you want to fix something that doesn't have any cells, don't just do a curve maybe, not a swirly. I'm not sure that the swirly works for me. It only works on the very outer edges. Look at that rustic earth color. It's so pretty. So yeah, let me know what you think below, guys. I appreciate you all for watching. Have a wonderful day. And thank you again for all your continued support. And don't forget about the discount codes in the description box for you. And have an awesome day. Appreciate you guys.